guys, Cherry Best here. Yes, I want to speak on the Juanita Bynum situation. First of all, I just want to say that we're just going to talk about some of the facts that happened, because let's just talk about some things. I think that this could have been handled privately among the Moores and Bynum contract. I'm sure they had a contract, and that could have been handled, as per the contract. And privately, she could have just said, I had an emergency and I had to go. Or she could have said, look, some things came up, I couldn't perform, and then told the Moores, look, you went in my room, you saw my underwear, and I wasn't comfortable, and that just null and void the contract. Now, I don't think that was on the contract. If pastor come in your room without permission and see your underwear, that you no longer have to perform. But I'm just saying, ethically, maybe she had a problem with that ethically. I just would have had a problem with him coming in the room. Now, listen to all the videos. Listen to the Moores. Listen to Unica. And listen to Juanita. Mr. Moore said she was supposed to be there at 6 p.m. that evening. And she didn't get there till 11:45 that night. So if he went into the room to see if she had checked in and to bring her a gift, that may be something he always does. Okay, his name was, the people from the hotel said his name was on the room. He was the one who rented the room. So when he asked for the key, he broke some ethics there by asking for the key. But he was probably trying to figure out, well, she's supposed to be at 6:30. I ain't heard from Unica or nobody. She ain't here yet. What is going on? She done changed the flight time 2 or 3 times. And what is going on? So he went into the room. He got the key and went into the room. Whatever his motives might have been, he went in the room. That's a fact. He did go in the room. Whether he was going to bring a gift or what, he did go in the room. She didn't know he was going to come in the room. Well, lo and behold, she had checked in. She had checked in, put her bags in, and thrown her stuff everywhere. Unica had come and laid her clothes out for the performance. Okay, so he didn't know that. And so he said when he saw the bags, he backed out immediately. He didn't go any further. He didn't go down the hall, around the corner, into the room where her underwear was, okay? Because her underwear she wasn't in one of those rooms that, she wasn't in the cheap room. She wasn't in the room where you just open the door and there's everything. No, she was in a suite. And a suite has a corridor and some rooms in it. It's not just one room and then bam, it's all there. He would have had to go down the hall and turn into her bedroom to see all of that. Okay, so he said he did not go any further once he saw the luggage there. And he said he thought that somebody else was still in the room and that the hotel didn't have that room straight for her to come. Now, not knowing that she wasn't there, not knowing that he didn't know whether she was there or not. And he thought that was somebody else's luggage and they wasn't clear of the room yet. So he went back downstairs and said, hey, look, the room that I rented for Juanita Bynum is somebody in there. Some luggage is in there. So that was just a misunderstanding altogether. So Unica, knowing that she's the one who put all that stuff in there, and she's the one who took her clothes out of her, Unica assumed if he went in the room that he also went back in the back and saw her underwear. But no, the man said no, he went in the room, looked down the hallway and saw the luggage, and he backed on out. That's what he said he did. Whatever the reason was that he came up there, that's what he said he did. Okay, the hotel people said, yeah, his name was on there because he's the one who paid for the room, and we can give them a key. We are clear. We're clear. Okay, so now, okay, Juanita gets on social media and try to ruin the man's reputation, and she wind up ruining her own. Let's throw this in here. And most of you who know me know that I'm a singer, and I used to sing in a band called Work for Hire. Work for Hire will go to the stage and we set up our own equipment, our own sound equipment, mics and everything, because every setup is different. Every venue is different. Every church is different. Every sound setup is different. And so you have to go in and try to plug into that sound system to do it the way you do it, to do your thing your way. Okay, so Juanita had her sound man come, her earpiece tech, the man who operates. That's what Moore said. Moore said she has a sound man that deals with her earpiece that she wears. Okay, performers wear earpieces. Okay, that's a part of the sound system. Okay, and Unica was her assistant, and the other people were her assistants. Trying to make that, and I'm sure they went ahead of time. They went ahead of her and checked in the hotel and probably went to the church and checked the sound system, see if everything's gonna be everything. You know, can we plug in the way we usually plug in? Can we make this as normal as possible? Can we have her performance be as it is always by using our stuff? Okay, I'm just throwing this in. I'm just saying maybe. Because what I want to know is why she had to leave. See, we listened to her talking about he saw my underwear and I didn't perform. No, why did you get out of that performance? The way you got out of the performance is one thing, but why you actually didn't want to perform is another. Okay, the way you got out of the performance is saying he went in your room and saw your underwear, you wasn't comfortable. That's how you got out. I want to know why you didn't want to perform. What made it where you couldn't perform? I have been to venues when the sound system, the sound booth was locked. There was no sound system. I couldn't play a tape, a performance track. I couldn't play the keyboard because it's hooked up into the sound system, and you got to talk loud because you got no mics. Okay, but the show must go on because they sent their fee, and I was there. So it wasn't my fault that the sound didn't. I got on the stage and belted out an a cappella number while the crowd got my check and laughed, okay? The show must go on. I did what I came to do. Even though the sound wasn't working, which really I had to change the repertoire that I was singing, and I had to do some two-stepping the right quick to try to make it work. But I went on with the performance. I was uncomfortable, and it wasn't what I would usually do. But I went on with it. I want to know, Juanita, why you ditched that performance. Why did you bail? Now, the reason you said you bailed was one thing. He came in my room, saw my nobody didn't feel coming, you left. But I want to know the real reason why you bailed. Is it that your sound tech couldn't get that earpiece working so they could tell you who they scouted out in that audience and you can call them up and prophesy on them? Is that how you work? Is it because that show wasn't going to be a normal show because something went wrong with the tech? Something went wrong with how you normally perform? You're supposed to be hearing from the Lord and his angels. And what, you couldn't hear from your tech man? You couldn't hear that a lady in a black dress and a red hat with green shoes was in a wheelchair and she needed to be prophesied for? I ain't got no problem with, I went to school with these prophets at ITC. I went to school with people who operate out of the prophecy office. And, in the world of lawsuits, you have to ask people permission. Can you touch them? Do you mind going down and letting the prophet prophesy on you? Because back in the day, the prophet just walked up and banged you in the head and you fell out and everything was all right. You didn't get sued. But these days, you mess around and pull somebody up on that office on that stage, and they don't know what you're gonna do, and you knock them in the head, and if it's just so. I might see them, pre-scouting a few folks and asking permission. I'm not saying this is what they do. I'm just saying this is what is done. These are things that are done. Asking people, can we prophesy? Can the prophet prophesy over you? She may touch you. She may do this. Do we have your permission? Sign this form. Okay, stand in line. But what the audience see is, oh, the Lord is telling me that a lady in a red dress and a black hat and some green shoes having a problem with her right arm. And come on down, baby. If that's you, come on down. Come on down with your $100. Come on down. Maybe that's the way prophets act. I'm not saying that she does. I'm just saying maybe. And maybe they couldn't get that stage set up. Maybe they couldn't get that sound piece working. Maybe she couldn't perform because it wasn't going to happen the way she normally happened. Rev Moore, you need to check out the sound tech. Check out conversations that happen between her sound tech and yours, your equipment and her equipment. I think, now this is just me, I think something went wrong with that performance. Her sound tech and her people went ahead of her and said, look, I don't think you perform tonight. We can't get the earpiece working. We can't get access to information like we used to do. We're not going to be able to scout the audience and find you people. And that's going to be a mess. And so, while she's supposed to be hearing from the Lord, we're not going to be able to do this. So she probably already had a pre-emergency already made out, like all performers do. When things don't go right, when they don't give you that check. Now, I'm going to tell you the one thing that happens. When performers get paid to book, they book you. It's usually non-refundable. When you get there, there's a process, and that's in the contract. When I get there, you give me my check and I go on. That's normal. That may not have been for her, but normally they pay to book you, non-refundable. And then when you show up, you don't want to be waiting on a check. You usually say, when I get there, give my check to XYZ, and they're going to tell me you got the check, you're on. Okay? But that didn't happen. That didn't happen. She was paid, and everything was set, and everything was ready. So I want to know why you ditched that performance. Because from one performer to another, I'm a singer, not a prophet. I want to know why you decided not. You were there. You was there. You was ready. Your stuff was laid out, and you could have went on. I mean, hearing from God, you can hear from God. You don't need an earpiece to hear from God. You don't need people scouting the audience to hear from God. You should have been able to prophesy in the bus terminal without your sound man, Tech, and Unica. You should have been able to prophesy at Publix, because that's where I am. You should have been able to prophesy at the Walmart. You don't need all that. So I want to know why you ditched that performance. Two things. Why you ditched the performance and why you chose an excuse. The one you could have just said, he came in my room and I wasn't comfortable, but you knew that wasn't going to get you out of the performance. So you say he came in my room and saw my underwear, my panties. And I feel really bad about that, and I had to go. But the fact is, you ditched him. You bailed, and I want to know why you bailed. I don't even need to know why you went on social media. If you hadn't gone on social media, you could have just said, look, you did this and you did that, and I'm gone. And left the money on the counter. But instead, you went straight to social media. He came in my room and a very planned performance. Very planned. And you know when people cry, their voice get all choked up and tears be dropping and makeup be falling around. And none of that happened with you, baby. When you was on there crying and boo-booing again, you went back to talking like you wasn't even choked up. You just messed that excuse all the way up. And then talking about he saw your pants. Girl, you messed that up. You're not a good performer when it comes to that kind of acting. You didn't do that one right. I mean, it would have been enough that he came in your room without permission. Not enough for you not to perform. But that would have been enough to be offended. I'd have had to tell him and the wife about it. But I'd have went on with the show. I'd have just went on with the show. So I want to know why you went to social media. What was you covering up? Why did you choose that excuse to not perform? Why did you bail? Did you bail because your sound tech couldn't get that earpiece to working? The church Wi-Fi wasn't compatible? You couldn't hear? You couldn't hear what they was pumping into you? Green hair, green dress, green purse, in a wheelchair. She coming up right now. She from so-and-so. She from West Kalamazoo. She got so-and-so. She's a nurse. So we don't hear all that. All we know is you prophesy, and we thank God feeding you the information, and what sound tech was feeding it to you. I'm just saying something must have happened where you can't, undoable perform, and you got out of it. You just chose a way that you tried to ruin the pastor's reputation, and you ruined yours. With that lame excuse and that lame social media outcry you did. That was so stupid. That was so stupid. As a businesswoman, I would have just said, look, I got an emergency, I got to go. I'd have gave him a phone call later and said, look, you came in my room, you saw my underwear. I don't think that. I'm not going to call a lawyer and sue you and sue the church and everybody. I'm just telling you. I didn't perform because you violated me. Okay, you violated me and I just left. And you can tell them what you want to tell them. Tell them I had an emergency. You tell them what you want to tell them, but I'm out. So that could have happened privately. That didn't have to happen on social media. You went to social media because you know all those people at that church were going to say, we paid our money to see Juanita Bynum. She didn't show up. Or we paid our money to see Juanita Bynum and she ain't do nothing. She didn't prophesy right. She didn't do this right. She didn't do this. But yeah, well, she couldn't. Because her sound man could not plug in. And they could not whisper in her ear what she needed to make that sound, make that look real. She couldn't do her performance as she normally. I mean, I could have told the folk, if you don't have a sound system, I can't sing. That's a lie. Because I was singing in my mama's house, just singing with no mics and nothing, singing. So I can perform without the sound system. You might not hear it, but I can sure stand up there and belt out a whole concert a cappella. If that's what you paid me to come and do, I'm finna sing. I don't need all the choir. I don't need all the drums and the keyboards and the organs. I can sing it a cappella. That's what you paid for. Because I don't have to bring my sound system. If that wasn't in the contract, to bring a sound system, church had a sound system. What you needed? What you need? Your cheap earpiece couldn't hook in. What was going on? It wasn't compatible. There was a reason why you bailed on those people. And it wasn't because the pastor saw your underwear. Girl, they used to put underwear. They see my underwear, my bra, my panties, my whole outfit for the whole next week on that clothesline out there. When my mama used to wash my clothes, she put everything out there, baby. Her bra, underwear, my bra, underwear, the outfit we were going to wear to church, school, and everywhere was out there on the line. The whole neighborhood and everybody saw it. I just can't see why you was that offended. I would have been that offended for him coming in the room and not telling me and having a key. Now I'd have been more offended had I been in there. Had I been in the room, that door popped open and it wasn't my people that I brought with me, and it was him, and he just busted in the room without a key, and I'm up in there. But what it was a misunderstanding. Unica knew that she put her clothes out back in the room. It was a suite, so it wasn't like the hotel rooms that the average person hotel room. You open the door and you just see everything: the beds, the bathroom, the bureau, everything is just right there as soon as you open the door. You don't even have to step across the threshold to see everything. I was thinking it was that. She said, no, it was a suite. He said, and it was luggage down the hall. And he said when he saw that luggage, he backed right out right away. He didn't even go down the hall. So he did not see her underwear. That's what he said. I'm telling you what he said. Okay, Unica. And so he said he went back downstairs to say, you know, there's some luggage in the room that I'm reserved for Prophetess Bynum, and somebody's still in there, because he thought somebody was still in there and the hotel didn't have the room ready for her. He didn't even know she had come there, checked in, and that Unica girl had them put all her stuff out. He didn't know that. Juanita was supposed to be there at 6. She didn't get there till 11:45 that night. She was supposed to be there at 6 p.m. that evening. She didn't get there till 11:45, almost 12 midnight. Okay, so if he was checking on her, he probably was checking on her and his money. I done paid you to be here and you ain't here yet, and you done changed the time 2-3 times. What is going on? Okay, so Pastor probably was like, let me take this gift and find out what's going on with this prophetess who was 6 hours late. I'm certain that was the day before. So anyway, I just either would have went on and performed and told him about this later privately, and the whole world didn't have to know. You know, that's probably how I would have done that. It was a big misunderstanding. Unica went in the room, put Juanita's stuff in the room, and put her clothes out the way she probably normally does for us like that. She probably put it out like she normally does. She put white sheets over the furniture. I mean, whatever Juanita asked, you know, she's a strange one. Whatever she asked her to do, Unica did it. And Unica assumed that when the pastor came in that he saw her underwear. I don't know why, because Unica knew that he would have had to go back to her bedroom to see it. The pastor said no. When he looked in there, he looked down the hallway and saw some luggage, and he was like, anybody want to tell me why luggage up in the room that I got reserved for the prophets, and she coming in at any time, even though she's 6 hours late, anytime now? Thank you, comedian Shula. So anyway, I ain't doing it. Thank you too, comedian. You know, I am a comedian, so those are my comedian friends who say I ain't doing it. And Shula says, anybody want to tell me? So anybody want to tell me why you ditched that performance? Because something made you ditch it. Something else made you make up that lame excuse as to why you was going to ditch it. So get back on social media, Juanita, and tell the world why you ditched that, because it wasn't about them underwear. Because you 60, I'm 57. Your drawers was on the line too back in the day. Your drawers, your bra, the holes in them and everything was on the line. Everybody saw everybody underwear on the line. So there, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Why did you ditch them? Why? Is it that your sound man couldn't get your earpiece hooked up and you couldn't do that performance like you usually do it because he wasn't going to be able to feed you? He and Unica and everybody else who scouts the people in the audience, they wasn't going to be able to do their scouting and give you that information that you pretended Jesus is sending you, God is sending you, huh? Your performance wasn't going to be your performance. You couldn't perform because something went wrong in the tech area, didn't it? I'm just saying. And now all my friends, don't get upset, because you know I like to just try to bring about some points to stimulate conversation. So don't get your panties all in a knot. Bye.